Good evening and a very warm welcome to First Issues. We are shaped by a number of things: our genetic makeup, our experiences, and of course the people we encounter in this journey called life. For most of us, the majority of our time as children was spent in the presence of our teachers than with our actual parents, and we have vivid memories of the professionals that may have provoked or at best inspired us. My mother, for example, talks fondly of Moremi Celerio Kgopo, who was well known in Kanya and surrounding areas in his time for being a passionate musician, a principled Christian, and a strict disciplinarian, who kept his hair straight and flat on top of his head with the use of only a comb he would tear through the hair of any child who would turn up at school looking unkempt. Teachers play a pivotal role in the shaping of potential thought leaders, and as a result, the country's transformation into a knowledge-based and thus competitive and modern economy. Yet as a profession, teaching is not as respected and valued as it was in the past, when it was one of the main professions at Botswana's independence. Tonight, however, we join the country in commemorating those who have dedicated a significant portion of their lives to the teaching profession, keeping in mind that Botswana has declared the first Thursday of June every year since 1999 to be Teachers' Day. What can we learn from those with decades of experience in the field at a time when the state of the nation's public education system has left so many people despondent, wondering at the future of an entire generation with such poor academic performance? We're talking, of course, about the 75% of students that failed the latest VGCSE exams, achieving a grade D or worse. The likes of Damien Thapa, whose leadership elevated any school he headed, from Matsekge Hill School to Gaborone Senior Secondary School, into a top-performing institution, taking Francistown Secondary School from the bottom in terms of exam results to second in the country in 1 year, and little-known Sepopa Secondary to top school in the country for the first time in its history when he was at its helm. Stay with us then this evening as we drink, like so many others before us, from some examples of those with perennial fountains of knowledge on the subject of teaching in Botswana, to see what we could all learn from them for the sake of future generations. Welcome back to First Issues as we celebrate the invaluable contribution made by teachers to the country's economic development, speaking to people who achieved so much with so little. That is, little to no teaching aids and amenities, working with students who had little prior knowledge of the world and its workings, and parents who may not have fully understood the true value of education. People who helped Botswana reach the 88.6% literacy rate calculated in 2014, working in basic classrooms, teaching children with no pre-primary education, and who'd sometimes start school in their teenage years. A world away from the advances that have recently been made. We visited our first guest in Pileng in Lobatse, who at the age of 90 is still very vibrant and eager to instruct. He began his teaching career in 1950 and retired as headmaster of Hill Primary School in 1990, a solid 40 years. I'll let him introduce himself because he does it so much better than I ever could.
Julius Michael Sekgane, Mora Sebola Sekgane, le mme Evelina Sekgane. Jaanong ke tsene sekwele mo St. Teresa ha ke tsena sekwele mo St. Teresa yalo ya beele gore ha ntse re pele ra simolola go ne go sena matitšhara go bo go simolola e le gore re ka nne le moruti jaanong a beele gore go bo gote a bana ba rutwe ABC A B C ba rutwe yalo mme a ruta bana ba go roka jalo jalo yaane ke ne ke rutwa ke sister o gone mo go tsong yaka mo setshwantsho sa gago sister yo ke ne ke tseya ke a jwa le ke mona ka sister wa itse gore ke nna wena ke ntse ya lwa re lehatshe le kgolokwe la re yalo mme nna ga go nna yalo lehatshe nna ke tsela ke tafole yale wa tsamaya tameka jaanong ka nako eo go ne go sena dilo tse go teng teaching aids. You couldn't make a child to see and believe that, you know, lehatshe is round. Konta go tsa torch yana o tse yana bolo go dikologa yana ke gone ka dumela nowadays there is not teacher ga sokole teacher as we are around here there are teaching aids dilo tse e le gore o ka ruta ngwana not make him believe o mo ruta bona e seng rona ba ne re ruta gote dumela se ke go se bolelelang jaanong ga ntse ke le mo sekoleng ka be ke bona ba banna tiro ya botitšhare ke tiro ya basadi ga ke mosadi nna ke monna ke batla go tshwara dilo tse di bokete didrama tse di tshwanang le e tletse petrol ke batla go tshwara yalo ya be e le gore ke a re ke bona banna ba bereka ke be ke nna hatse ke ba sheba ba hutse ke ba sheba ba bereka ka be ke tsamaya ke a bosoleng joined the army 1942 November. I didn't even care for my results. I went there when I was in Egypt, Kassassin, when actually now we were training as soldiers. When I was there, we went somewhere, Modowatli, 24 hours. There was no night, it was just. Then I wrote to my teacher and say, hey, Maui, now I believe that the earth is round.
Welcome back to First Issues as we celebrate the invaluable contribution made by teachers to the country's economic development, speaking to people who achieved so much with so little. That is, little to no teaching aids and amenities, working with students who had little prior knowledge of the world and its workings, and parents who may not have fully understood the true value of education. Go tlile jang gore o change from being in the army o bile gore no batla go ira tiro ya banna.
That's very good of you.
Go tlile yang gore ya no go bohela gore ke batla teaching.
Yeah, that's very good. From the army, civilian, 1946, and then 1947, I went for my education. Then I said I want to do carpentry. Now, the only school that taught carpentry was Moeding in Vryburg, Tagatloop. Now, it was immediately after the war. There was no timber. There was no timber. So and then I went to Lesotho for my education. Before that, when I applied, I just wrote JC on the application form. I didn't even know what JC means, what stands for J, what stands for C, what stands for. I just wrote JC and took my application forms, went to Lesotho. When I got there, oh, you have come? Okay. JC. I asked you, what is JC? There's a junior certificate. Okay? So now, I said, I've come here to train a teacher. So, that was our pride. That's why I said to you, punctuality is the virtue of kings. So I completed 1949. 1950, I came back home, and then in January, I got a post at the famous institution, St. Joseph's College. I taught at St. Joseph's College. There were now prominent people that I can't name them, you know. We did not know that, you know, we're teaching the future cabinets, future ministers of Botswana that time. You know, I can name some of them, Dr. Sivina, and then the late Chief Lindsay II.
You hadn't planned to become a teacher?
Yes, yes.
But you didn't
It's
stay
an
in the army?
accident.
But you became a teacher and you loved it.
Yeah.
What about it, thing, made you love it?
Hey, you know what? I always tell my wife that, you know, I'll die a happy man. I have seen the fruits of my labor. National Protectorate, Botswana. I have worked so hard that whatever I did, I loved my work. Ibile gompieno yana se se akabatseng kise kana dilo tsa gompieno ke dilo tse e leng gore wa itse gore ga o re wa di akanye ke mathata ena rona mma nna ke ne ke betsa Sambok ba itse Sambok gompieno yana wherever I go in any place where I go I meet my ex-children and they're very proud of me. Now lately Malawayan Mongona Antar who retired. What did na lady mo maketeng? Huh? Dina lady mo maketeng. Ad dina lady say ke Sambok sa gago. You know, when they talk to me, I love what they say. I like it because they say they have shown me that, you know, really I was not cruel.
Ka itse gore ga ba bolo go retire. Me mo malatsing ana ka rena le standard sa education ya rona ga se ya ka rona ne re se tlwaetse re ntse re gola. Wena ha o lebile o tsa gore bothata bo ka tswa botswa ha kae bana ba sa ire sentle.
Mathata a bana ba rona go sa lenyalo. Rona ne re nyala motho o na recommendation from your parents that nya tsana mo le gaeng lele nya le siame o sa nyale ya le bona bontlela ja go le montle yana o sa bone o ile gore nya tsana mme le gore ke motsadi o itumetse o bone le ga ile gore nya ngwana ke ga nyale mo ile gore ga gona botho botho jana nna mo sekweleng se ke ne ke se tsena ke ithutile mo go sone e ne e le gore teaching 3 R's arithmetic what else
Reading,
writing
and arithmetic.
No, there are 3.
R.
I get
R.
If you fail, if you don't add another R, becomes rascal.
Hello. Me khumile ke batla go botsa gore ke eng se se irang a teacher a good teacher. What makes somebody a good teacher? How libile?
A good teacher is a teacher that loves his children, his bread. ka lešea gagwe ga o na le ngwana o itse gore there is nothing this my bread my daily bread ke sone se se dirang jalo o itse sentle a le gore ngwana yo ka re utlwa I didn't know that, you know, I was teaching future Botswana. What I learned from my experience is that how that deal how that time we didn't think of salary. No, we didn't think of salary. After so many years, I retired. I still dream that, you know, I haven't done my work. I haven't schemed, you know. I don't know what I'm going to teach my children next. I have nightmares.
Welcome back to First Issues as we continue to speak to individuals with a wealth of experience in the teaching profession in light of National Teachers' Day taking place this Thursday. 80-year-old Luisa Ludo Musi, who happens to be the widow of the former Vice President of Botswana, the late Peter Musi, has a strong legacy of her own. 57 years as a teacher, and all her daughters, that is 2 daughters and 3 daughters-in-law, involved in the profession at St. Mary's English Medium Primary School in Tlokweng that she herself founded 20 years ago. And of course, a legion of students and teachers that she molded and trained in the 6 decades that she was active. We now ask her where this journey all began. Thank you so much for granting us this interview, Ma'am Musi.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Thanks. So ideally, we'd just like to know your entire journey into the teaching profession. From the very beginning, when you decided you wanted to pursue it, and up till this very moment.
When I passed my standard 6, it was standard 6 then. I wanted to go. I thought I was going to do nursing. I didn't know what I was going to do. But I was with a friend of mine who wanted to go and do teaching. And then she could only go and do teaching in Lesotho. Then me going to do nursing, I was to go to Khale. Then I decided, should I go to Khale? So close by. And my friend is going to Lesotho. Then I changed my mind. Said, no, I want to join her and go to Lesotho. So I told my teacher, who was a nun, she was the one who was making these arrangements for us. So I told her that, no, I want to go and do teaching. So she changed places. Then she found a place for me in Lesotho. That's where we went and did our training. 1953, that's when I started in Lobatse. And I taught in a number of government schools, as I said, I started in Lobatse. And then I came to Gaborone when I started teaching at Camp School. Then to Lesedi, moved on to Camp School again, and then to Bonteng, and then to Ituateng. At Ituateng is where I stayed most. I stayed about 19 years at Ituateng because I started there. It was a new school. So I started there as a head teacher and was there for 19 years. Then I was transferred to Lesedi for a very short period of about 2 years, up to 1995, when I retired. I retired in 1995, December, and then 1996, I came to start here in Tlokweng. This was my school. So when I was about to retire, I still had all the energy within me. So I just thought if I could get a place, start my own school, and gradually move it up to standard 7, I'll be happy. But fortunately, I got just that. I got this place. I came and started here in 1996, as I say. And went on for 15 years.
Is there one quality when you assess someone or you meet someone that when you see it, you're like, this person, because of this one quality, will make for a good teacher?
A hard-working person, even if she's not trained, she can always do her work properly. Yeah. All a person needs to do is to be a hard-working person. Yeah.
I'm sure you're aware of the state that our public education system is in at the current moment and the results that are being produced. Do you have any insight as to what could be causing this? I think we had such a good track record in the years before. Why do you think we're struggling so much right now?
The problem with our children is that they associate these two things, work and money. You cannot know how much work you have to give for the amount of money that you are giving. Even when we see that what you are earning is little, you will never think, because of this, I can stop working. Because the job itself satisfies you. Yeah. You get a lot of satisfaction from what you are doing for the child.
Are there people that maybe our viewers at home might know, they've passed through your hands?
I've got someone here in front of me.
Our director of photography.
Yes. And I become so happy. When somebody greets me, I always ask, what are you doing now? They tell me proudly, I'm doing this. Then I'm very happy to hear that. And what I always tell them is that I don't want you to give me anything to thank me. I only want you to come and bury me. When you hear that I'm dead, you must make sure that you come to my burial.
After tonight's conversations, we trust that you won't wait until your favorite teacher's funeral to show them some appreciation, as Mam Musi is hoping for. This Thursday would be a great start. Before we say our goodbyes, in what has actually been the final episode of our 7th season on your screens, we would like to introduce a new segment to help us better interact with you, the First Issues viewer, who has supported us all these years. At the end of each program, we shall select the most thought-provoking comment from our social media platforms, as well as our new SMS line, as the weekly winner. And along with having your honest quip, question or comment read on the show, you will also receive some First Issues goodies. Many of you commented on last week's Indigenous Knowledge episode, in which we featured a traditional masseuse, a water diviner and others as people whose skills could possibly be professionalized and marketed. Many of you also called to ask for their contacts, so here they are. But the winning comment this week comes from Kibareng Solomon in Gaborone, who said the show was captivating and wondered whether any of our guests, other than Rewasi Dupe, considered what they are doing to be business. We thank you so much for writing in and look forward to reading all the comments that have been made about tonight's episode and announcing the winner next week when Season 8 of First Issues begins. With that, we wish you a good night and pleasant viewing.